Everybody in prison is looking for a way out, a way to escape the harsh reality of their confinement. But what if you couldn't hang up the phone? What if the very lifeline that connects you to the outside world becomes a source of unimaginable terror? I've been in prison for a year now, tried to rob a place, got caught, my family's all I have left. I call them every chance I get. But today something's different. I dial my wife's number and a stranger answers. He's laughing. He says he has my wife and kids tied up. If I hang up, they die. The prisoners behind me are getting restless. "How long you gonna be, man?" one shouts. My heart's racing. I beg the man on the line not to hurt my family. "Tell them to shut up," he commands. I ask for proof. He puts my wife on the phone. She's crying, confirms it's true. Panic sets in. I turn to the prisoners. "Shut the hell up!" I scream as instructed. They're not happy. Fists fly. I'm punched, kicked. The man's voice in my ear. "Keep the line open." More prisoners join in. It's chaos. One stabs me. Blood pours, but I stay standing. For your family, I think, keeping the phone pressed to my ear. 2 hours, more stabs, more abuse. Finally the line goes dead. I collapse. Wake up in the hospital. My family's safe. But the terror, it's far from over. The nightmare began with a simple phone call, a routine check-in with... But the moment I heard that stranger's voice, I knew something was terribly wrong. His laughter was chilling, a sound that would haunt me for the rest of my days. He described my home in detail, things only someone inside could know. My mind raced with questions. How did he get there? Why my family? But there was no time for answers, only action. The other prisoners were growing impatient. In a place where time drags on endlessly, minutes on the phone can feel like an eternity. "Hurry up!" they yelled, their voices a mix of anger and desperation. I tried to explain, but my words were drowned out by the chaos around me. The man on the phone was relentless. "If you hang up, they die," he repeated, his voice cold and emotionless. I had no choice but to comply. As the minutes turned into hours, my body began to give out. The pain from the stabs was excruciating, but my family's lives depended on it. The other prisoners, seeing my distress, became even more agitated. Fights broke out, and the guards struggled to maintain control. In the midst of the chaos, I clung to the phone, my lifeline to the outside world and to my family's safety. The man on the other end seemed to take pleasure in my suffering. He taunted me, describing in graphic detail what he would do to my family if I disobeyed. Each word was a dagger to my heart, but I couldn't let him hear my fear. I had to stay strong, for my wife and kids. I begged him for mercy, but he only laughed. "You're in no position to make demands," he sneered. "Do as I say, or..." The hours dragged on, each one more torturous than the last. My vision blurred from the pain and blood loss, but I refused to let go. The other prisoners, seeing my determination, began to rally around me. Some tried, others continued to fight. The guards, overwhelmed by the chaos, called for backup. But even as the situation spiraled out of control, I held on, driven by a single thought: my family's safety. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the line went dead. I collapsed, my body giving out from the strain. The last thing I remember was the sound of sirens and the feeling of being lifted onto a stretcher. When I woke up in the hospital, the first thing I asked about was my family. The relief I felt when I heard they were safe was indescribable. But the terror of that day still lingers, a constant reminder of how fragile our lives truly are. In the days that followed, I learned that the man who had tormented me was a fellow inmate, part of a gang that specialized in extortion. They had targeted my family to get to me, knowing that I would do anything to protect them. The guards assured me that he had been caught and would face justice, but the damage was already done. The scars from that day, both physical and emotional, would never fully heal. Now, every time I pick up the phone, I can't help but feel a pang of anxiety. The memory of that day is always there, lurking in the back of my mind, but I refuse to let it control me. I continue to call my family, to hear their voices and remind myself of why I endure. They are my strength, my reason for fighting. And no matter what happens, I will never stop fighting for them. The prison is a harsh place filled with danger and uncertainty, but it has also taught me the value of resilience, of never giving up no matter how dire the situation. That phone call was a nightmare, but it also showed me the depths of my own strength. I survived, and so did my family, and as long as I have them, I know I can face anything. So the next time you pick up the phone, remember this story. Remember that on the other end of the line there could be someone fighting their own battle, someone who needs to hear a kind word, a voice of reassurance, because you never know what kind of nightmare they might be living through. And sometimes, a simple phone call can make all the difference in the world. The terror of that day may never fully leave me, but it has also given me a new perspective on life. I cherish every moment with my family, every phone call, every word, because I know how easily it can all be taken away. And that knowledge, as painful as it is, makes me appreciate what I have even more. So, I hold on to the phone, to my family, to hope, and I keep fighting, one day at a time. It's a lesson I wish I didn't have to learn, but one that has made me stronger. And as I navigate the challenges of prison life, I carry that strength with me. Because in the end, it's not just about surviving, it's about finding a way to live, to hold on to the things that matter most and to never let go, no matter what. The man's voice in my ear, keep the line open. More prisoners join in, it's chaos. One stabs me, blood pours, but I stay standing. For your family, I think, keeping the phone pressed to my ear. 2 hours, more stabs, more abuse. Finally the line goes dead. I collapse, wake up in the hospital, my family's safe. But the terror? It's far from over. The man's voice in my ear, keep the line open. More prisoners join in, it's chaos. One stabs me, blood pours, but I stay standing. For your family, I think, keeping the phone pressed to my ear. 2 hours, more stabs, more abuse, finally the line goes dead. I collapse. Wake up in the hospital, my family's safe. But the terror, it's far from over.